Hi, I'm Mindy Peters, the Solutions Manager at SPI, and in this video, we are going to talk about Circle's brand new feature called Workflows. Workflows are automations, and I am so excited that Circle has built this feature into the platform. This is a feature that is available for business and enterprise level customers, and what workflows allow you to do is set up some tasks that will run whenever certain conditions are met within the community. I am going to walk you through how to build a workflow so that you automatically send a direct message whenever you get a new subscriber to one of your paywalls or whenever someone brand new joins your community. So let's get started. To get to workflows, we'll come up to this panel right here, click on the little down arrow and choose workflows from the drop-down menu. Now, if it's your very first time visiting workflows, you are going to see some information from Circle, some examples of what this can look like for you. I have already built and run some workflows, and so when you return to this panel, this is what you are going to see, which is a chart of the different automations that you have set up. It's going to show you the name, the number of steps or the number of actions that happen when that workflow runs, who from your admin team created that workflow, when it was created, the last time that it ran. And so you can see for these two workflows that I have set up, they have not run yet. The specific entry condition or the trigger condition has not been met, and so they have not run yet. You can see how many times, like I said, it's run. You can see this one at the bottom here. In this case, I was adding a whole bunch of people into my community at once so that they could participate in a challenge. And so this one has run a bunch of times. If you ever need to turn your workflow off, but you don't want to get rid of it entirely, you can just flip the switch. That will make it inactive. It will sit there. You can always turn it back on at a later date, but it's not going to run while it's turned off. An example of this might be, like I said, I was importing a whole bunch of people into the community, and maybe in that case, you don't want to send 834 direct messages all at once because you know the replies from that would be overwhelming. So in that case, you might want to come and turn off an automation while you do some work, and then you can always turn it back on later. Finally, you'll see this ... If you just click on that, you've got a couple of options. View is going to open up that workflow so you can see all of the steps involved. Archive will move it over to this archive section. In the archive section, these are old workflows that we ran. We want to hang on to them maybe for posterity's sake so we could go back and look at them, but we can't run them from this screen. Now, before we dive into building a workflow, I do want to talk about the difference between an automation and a bulk action, which is the other option that you have from this builder. You can build bulk actions. The difference between automations and bulk actions is when they run. With an automation, that is something where you set an entry condition, you set a trigger condition, and you say, I want this to run when X happens. So in the example that we are about to build, we're going to say, I want this automation to run whenever somebody subscribes to my paywall. With a bulk action, instead you're saying, I want to pick a whole bunch of people from a list and I want to run these actions right away on all of those people. I'm not waiting around for something to happen. I'm saying I want to take this list of people. In this case, maybe I want to take everybody who has a specific tag in my community and I want to put them all into another space, or I want to send all of those people a direct message. So that's the difference between an automation and a bulk action. Okay, let's build our workflow. So I'm going to push new workflow here. Now, Circle has put together a bunch of different templates for automations. These are examples of things that you can do in your community. And I highly encourage you to go through and read the different examples and see if any of them jump out as something that would be really good for your community. What we will be building is going to be very similar either to this one, send a welcome message to any new member that joins the community, Or down in the paywalls section, send new paywall subscribers a thank you message. These automations are very, very similar. I could just click on this and it's going to open up that template, but I want to show you what it looks like when you start from the custom workflow here, which is you need to choose first between an automation and a bulk action. And again, we talked about the differences there. What we are doing here is an automation because it is going to run over time as people meet that particular entry rule. So here we're going to set the entry rule or the trigger for the automation. So we would choose here either member join the community. Now this would be a great choice if your community is free or a portion of your community is free and you want to greet anybody who's coming into your community. But I am going to choose something that's slightly different here down in paywalls. In my case, I'm going to choose member subscribe to a paywall rather than member join the community. And I'm choosing that option just because I want to customize the message based on which paywall the member joins. I don't have a free portion to the SPI community. Our entire community is behind a paywall. And so I want to just send a different message based on which paywall the customer chose. Now you may also notice here right above it, member charged for a paywall. And I want to really quickly talk about the difference between member charged for a paywall and member subscribed to a paywall. With member subscribed to a paywall, which is the one I'm going to choose, that only happens on the very first payment. The first time that they make their purchase, they are going to get this message. If instead I chose member charged for a paywall, that would occur anytime they make a payment. And so if our subscription is a monthly subscription, they would be getting this message once a month every time they make a payment. Or in our case, in the SPI community, we have quarterly and annual payments. They would be getting the same message over and over again every quarter when they make that payment, or the same time every year. And that's not what I want. I only want to send this message on the very first time that they come in and make a payment. So that's the one that we'll choose here. Member subscribe to a paywall. But again, you could also choose member joins a community if that fits your community better. We'll choose that. Then I need to choose which paywall. So for our first example, we'll go with the All Access Pass. And that is our community that gives you access to all of SPI's courses and workshops. Now I'll hit continue. And so that is our entry rule set up. We have defined what is going to trigger this workflow to run. Now we have to tell the workflow what we want it to do once we've met that entry condition. That's our action. And in this case, we are going to send a direct message. So first I need to say who this message is coming from, and it's not going to be coming from me. It's going to be coming from our community manager, Ashley. So I will type her name in here and it will find her profile. I'll click on that. So now this message will come from Ashley, and then I will put my message in the message body section here. Okay, so here is my message. Now, one thing that you might note is I'm just greeting them with hi there. I would really love to be able to put in my customer's name here. Now this is a brand new feature from Circle, so they're still building out the different elements of it, and right now I can't put my customer's name in there, but I have looked at their roadmap for this product and I see that in Q2 they have the ability to put your customer's name in there in the roadmap. So that's coming, and maybe by the time you're watching this video it's already there. But for right now I can't do that. I still want to use this feature anyway. So here I've got my message all loaded in. I will hit continue. Now that's the end of what I want to do with this automation. If I wanted to, I could keep adding in extra actions. I would just click on this plus sign, and then maybe the next action I would do would be to add in a member tag, or maybe I would add that member to a particular space. There are a bunch of different options in the list here, But for right now, I'm keeping this automation really simple. I just want to do that one action. So if you go to add an action and then decide you don't want it anymore, just click over here on the ... and you can delete that action. Now the last thing we need to do is give this a name, and I would encourage you as you name your automations to include who it runs on and what it is doing in the name of your automation. That will keep you from having to open up the automation from that panel that we looked at the beginning of the video. It'll keep you from having to open up the workflow to remember all of the things that happens. And if you're working on a team, it's really kind to the other members of your team for them to be able to tell at a glance what this automation is doing. So I am going to name this with my product abbreviation, and then new member welcome message. So that's what this automation is doing. For anyone who buys the All Access Pass, it's sending them a new welcome message. All right, I'll hit activate and then activate again. All right, and this is my confirmation screen. Everything is all set up and activated. We can see that when someone subscribes to the All Access Pass paywall, Ashley is going to send them this message. Okay, we'll close this out. Now I'm going to run through that again very quickly for another product, just so you can see how quickly we can do this. New workflow. I am building an automation. And again, my entry rule is down under paywalls. It's members subscribe to a paywall. And this time it's going to be the learner subscription. I'll hit continue. I am going to send a direct message from Ashley. Oops. From Ashley. And then I will type in my message. Okay, I've typed in my message. I will hit continue and give it a name. There's the name, and I'll hit activate. Activate again, and we are all set up. So when a new member subscribes to the learner subscription paywall, Ashley will send them this message. I hope that was helpful for you to get an understanding of how the workflows work. I'm going to be making some more videos setting up additional workflows. So watch this channel and I'll be publishing those soon. If you are looking for more education about running an online business, or you're looking to connect with a wonderful, thriving group of online entrepreneurs, SPI has some great communities. Head on over to smartpassiveincome.com/community, where you can learn about our All Access Pass, which is access to all of our courses and workshops, as well as a thriving community of entrepreneurs, or our Learner and Pro communities, which are specifically designed to help you connect with other entrepreneurs as you are growing your online business.